world alone. After 40 years of work, Bahama went hiking in Nepal. Now 74, she still travels solo across Africa and Asia, staying with local families. When Bali Bahama retired at 60, she decided this was her time. She started traveling alone, hiking in Nepal to prove that senior citizens shouldn't be afraid to go out and have adventures. Now 14 years on, Bahama is 74, and each winter she has ventured to a different part of the world. Last month, she left her home in Berkshire, UK, for Southeast Asia. Let's see how to pronounce this name of a city name, I suppose, in the UK. Berkshire, UK, for Southeast Asia, having recently returned from 9 months exploring Southern Africa and Madagascar. If I can do it at this age, anybody can, she says. Thank you, Bahama. You're so encouraging people. You're so motivated.
Madagascar.
For Bahama, doing it means avoiding hotels and hostels and traveling across land from village to village, country to country. She prefers to stay with people she meets at the Sikh temple or through host a sister. Originally a Facebook group and now a site with 500,000 members where women offer lodging to solo female travelers. Let's see how to pronounce I think a word here. Yeah, this word. Hotels and hostels.
Hostels,
yeah. In Namibia, I think this is a country or something. Or maybe a city. Let's see. Oh no. Again.
Namibia.
In Namibia, she stayed in a settlement of hundreds of illegally built homes without gas, running water, or toilets. We used to go in the open, Bahama says. It was fine. I had such warm hospitality in Malawi maybe. Let's see how to pronounce this one.
Malawi.
In Malawi. She washed in a river, and in Mozambique, it took 2 days to get from A to B in a basic wooden boat. No seating. You just lay down in the boat. You're changing yourself mentally. Bahama grew up in Malaysia. She and her husband married nearly 50 years ago. Soon after, they moved to London in the mid-1970s, having met at Chandigarh University in northern India. They have 3 children and 3 grandchildren. So why spend so much of the year traveling alone? People always ask this, she says. An Asian woman of my age traveling on her own is not the normal thing. People think she's up to something, but traveling alone brings freedom. You eat what you want, go where you want. I can walk 15 kilometers or hitchhike. Other people may not want to do those things. Her family likes comfort. Travel itself is what comforts Bahama. She always travels in winter in search of warmth. Still, wherever she goes, people want to know, why didn't you bring your partner, your children? but women should be able to go out there and do things and not be housebound, she says. Let's see this word. How to pronounce it?
Housebound.
Housebound. I pronounce it correctly. Surprisingly, she says, I always think that if a man can do something, why can't we? What's keeping us back? Go girl. You literally nail it. Yeah. Bahama was one of 7 children in a family that often moved around. Her mother was a housewife, her father a police officer. Everything was outdoors, apart from school. Cycling here and there. Mischievous. Let's see this word. I don't think I pronounce it correctly.
Mischievous.
Yeah, it's correct. Mischievous. I could climb a tree, put my legs over a branch and hang upside down. Wherever a person has their childhood, that's home. Deep down, she believes. Initially, England seemed nothing like home. In Malaysia, people were warm and friendly and turned up at each other's homes. Welcome, come in, sit down, have tea. In England, certain people didn't have that warm feeling. Sometimes I'd get looks. What are you doing here? You shouldn't be here. I've gone through, not to say a stressful experience, a journey, she says. In the 70s, the UK was not very accepting. Bahama's first job was in payroll. Let's see this word. Payroll. Yeah? I think wait.
Payroll.
Payroll. Despite her deep love of being on the move, she stuck to the payroll path for nearly 40 years, working full-time through 3 pregnancies. At first, counting cash into little brown envelopes before ending her career with Amazon. I've had enough, she thought. When she turned 60, no more, she knew she would travel. Bahama is clearly capable and self-possessed, but does she ever feel scared alone? Let's see this word together. A chunk, because it is one word basically.
Self-possessed.
Self-possessed. Bahama is clearly capable and self-possessed, but does she ever feel scared alone? No, she says. And anything can happen at any time, even sitting in my house. Her Berkshire, I suppose. I need to see how to pronounce the city again. I'm struggling with it.
Berkshire.
Berkshire. It's like Berkshire. But home has been burgled several times. Abroad, she has never experienced anything like that. Besides, traveling, she says, is really like moving from home to home for her. I go into villages, stay with local people, understand their way of living, and appreciate that. I'll do their sweeping, gardening, wash their dishes. I'm not a guest. I'm more like a member of their family. She has stayed in touch with many of her hosts. Sometimes these people are closer to you than your own relatives. Why? I don't know, but I'm connected, she says. Yeah, her story is so lovely, I would say. I think this story is ending here. Yeah, it took me 9 minutes to read it. Do I need to? Yeah, let's see this. A new start after I became a hummingbird for people with dementia. This one I saw. A new start 60. I wanted to live cheaply, so I bought a boat, moved in, and began traveling the world. A new start after 60. I went to art school at 66, and now I've sold hundreds of paintings. Wow. These people are amazing, really, doing this. Let's see this one. A new start. After 60, I became a foster carrier at 75, and it has helped keep me young. Wow. Do I need to read this one? I think so. Let me see. Yeah, I think it was meant to. Let's see. A new start after 60. I became a foster carrier at 75, and it has helped keep me young. Let's see this word. How to pronounce it?
Carer.
Cara. It's Cara, not carrier. Cara. Patricia Swan thought she might be considered too old to care for young children, but now she and her husband are looking after 3 siblings under 7. Patricia Swan was puttering around at home one day in 2022 when a radio broadcast changed the course of her life. Normally, the radio is background noise, but when I heard a desperate call out for more foster carriers in my local area, I had to do something, she says. She was 75 at that time. So her next thought was, I must be too old. However, she looked into it immediately, and on finding there was no upper age limit, she and her husband put in an application. Let's see. So they were caring for a 17-month-old boy and his 6-month-old sister. The process to become a foster carrier. Carrier. Yeah, let's see again, girl. You have to say.
Carer.
It's Cara. Cara is a lengthy one, and for Swan and her husband, it took 26 weeks of meetings and interviews. I carried when we were accepted, she says. When the children arrived, it was a shock. I did think, what on earth am I doing? Swan says. However, the fear soon faded. Over the 7 months she cared for the pair, the positive changes she witnessed were hugely rewarding. The little boy really struggled to speak or eat when he arrived and was often frustrated, but he really calmed down and made lots of progress, Swan says. With the baby girl, Swan witnessed lots of firsts, such firsts? What is this word? I don't think it's first itself, really.
Firsts.
Yeah, it's first. Just sitting up, rolling up, and cutting teeth. Develop a strong bond, she says. Before fostering, Swan had been retired for 7 years after a career as an executive housekeeper in hotels, alongside raising her 3 daughters and then helping out with her grandchildren. Her daughter Tracy, 75, had been fostering children, but it wasn't something she had previously considered herself. Let's see. My daughter had suggested I tried, but I always dismissed her. I didn't feel I had the time, she says. Her retirement years before she started fostering were mainly spent looking after her house and garden in Shropshire and her other daughter's horses. However, she felt something was lacking. You can't clean the house every day, and I got bored of baking, like baking a cake. Since looking after the 2 babies in 2023, Swan has taken care of 5 children for respite periods and is now looking after 3 siblings who are 2, 5, and 6 for a longer stint again. Because of her age, Swan signs up for short-term placements, which means taking children for less than a year. Normally, a few months at a time, or as a respite for a few days or weeks. Let's see this word. I think I was struggling to pronounce it.
Respite.
Respite is correct. This also gives her the opportunity to have a break between placements. While she and her husband both foster the children, she is the main carrier. Again, this word. I'm struggling to pronounce this word. I don't know why.
Carer.
Carer. It's carer, girl. You have to have it now. Carer.
Foster.
Foster. Carer. Carer and chooses only to have children under 7. Older than that takes too much energy. Plus, they are normally in bed by 6 p.m. and I can have a bit of time to relax, she says. While the children can sometimes be challenging to look after, saying goodbye is even harder. The transition is always heart-wrenching. Let's see this word, wrenching. And I'm gonna say it together as a chunk.
Wrenching.
Wrenching is wrenching. Let's see it together. Heart-wrenching. Heart-wrenching.
Heart-wrenching.
Heart-wrenching. But she says that fostering has changed her day-to-day life for the better. The children really keep me young. For example, I spend a lot of time at the zoo now, and I hadn't been to the zoo in years. I love it, she says. She also thinks it has changed her. I used to be a bit of a grumpy woman. I think I was bored. I needed something to stimulate my life, and fostering has given me that. It's giving me something to live for. Swan thinks anyone in good health should consider fostering at her age. Older people have lots of more time and patience, and often houses with spare rooms and gardens. It's also much easier to do when you don't have your own around, she says. Just do it. You won't regret it. She is keen to continue fostering more children. I plan to do it as long as I am fit and healthy. I might be shattered by 7 p.m., but the children give me something to look forward to each morning. Tell us. Yeah, I think I finished